is everybody today? I just am hopping on really quick to show you how I make my dressing. We're gonna have a dinner out at the palace today, and I'm fixing some dressing, and I want to show you how I make it. I got some things out so it wouldn't take me so long, but the first thing I did was I've got a pound of sausage, and I've got it over here in the skillet, browning, and it's Italian sausage. And I'm gonna brown this up and get it all cooked up and get it drained and ready, and it's gonna go in the dressing. I've got my bread over here toasted, and I used a loaf of sandwich bread, and I'm going to break it up and put it over here in this pan. Let me turn it back around. Okay. Also, I have some celery over here. I need 2 cups of chopped celery. And I like to leave these leaves on them when I'm making dressing, because this has really good flavor to it if you leave the leaves on. And then I'm just going to cut these up in smaller pieces and put them in the food processor and go ahead and chop them up. My chopping arm's not working too good this morning. We're having our Christmas dinner out there today with Eric and Wendy and her family. So I'm going to put the lid on. This is going to be a little noisy. I'm going to try to put the lid on. Maybe I won't put the lid on. I don't know what's the matter this morning. I think there. Okay, here we go. I may have to add some more celery to this because I'm not sure if I have quite 2 cups in here. Okay. One cup's about all I have in there, so I'll put some more celery in. Probably a couple more stalks. And that should do it. Now, I'm going to put this celery in a skillet over here. Oops, and that went my camera. I'm going to put it in a skillet over here because I'm going to cook it in butter. Let's get it sauteed. And I'm going to use a stick of butter. Let it be melting in the skillet. I'm going to give this meat another chop. That's browning up really nice. Okay, the butter's melting. I'm going to go ahead and finish chopping up the celery. I know I'm taking a chance if I sharpen this knife with, one day I'm going to get these legs so they don't move up and down. So they stay in one place. Every time I sharpen my knives, I cut my finger. If I don't have them sharp, then it's harder on me to cut down and do things. You can tell when I'm not talking very much that I'm in pain. Okay, add this celery in. Celery gives the dressing of such a good flavor. Okay, here we go for some more noise. Okay. I know that's another cup because that's how full I filled it when I had that in there. And I'm going to take this over here and put it in the skillet. Give this this meat another little chop. It's getting really close to being done. And I like to chop it up in small pieces. Okay, putting this celery into the skillet. With the butter. Oh, this is going to be so good. Now, if you don't want to use meat in your dressing, you don't have to. This is just the way I've been asked to do it this morning. And another thing is, you can use other types of meat. You can use turkey. You can use chicken. You can use, I guess you could use ham if you wanted to. You could use about anything you wanted to put in there for the meat. So, while that is starting to cook, I'm going to do the onion. And we need a cup of onion. My oven likes to make noises. Likes to pop and crack and make noises. Onion in here, and what's nice, usually I chop these up in just really small dices, but today, because I need to use the processor, but one nice thing when you do use the processor, it does make them, it makes the vegetables really small, and you can make them small enough that sometimes people can't tell that by taste or by texture that there is something in there that they don't like. Some people have a problem with the way food feels in their mouth, not the way it tastes. And that's okay. We'll get this all in there and it'll be so flavored up good, and no one will know that there's anything in there that they don't like. Okay, that should actually be enough onion. And I will save this for the potato casserole, which I'm probably not going to do this morning. I don't know if I'm not getting the lid on there completely right or what it is. It's just give me trouble. I'm going to have to get me something different. Something different. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay, loud noise. this and put it in the skillet too. Get this all stirred up. Now, what I'd like to do is add some of the seasonings. Okay, I'm going to put the sage in here because we will be adding this to the broth. I'm putting a teaspoon. This is 3/4 of a teaspoon, but I'm adding enough to make it a teaspoon. I'm going to be putting some pepper in. And some salt. This salt comes out really fast. I just add till I think I've got enough in there to make it taste good. Some people like things saltier than others, and so you might just have to taste it. Okay, I'm turning the light off on the meat. Now, I'm going to add some Mrs. Dash also, besides the sage. And this is salt-free and just original blend. About a teaspoon of that. Okay? Okay. And we'll stir this up again. Turn it up just a little bit so it'll cook a little faster. Oh, it smells so good. Oh, another thing that you can put in your dressing for meat is oysters. And Eric loves oysters in his, but not too many people do. I like them okay. But anyway, we're just doing the sausage today. Okay, and back over here we go. I'm gonna rinse this off. Turn it over, and I'm going to cut up I may break it up. I'm not sure how it's going to cut. Not too bad. This toast, I went ahead and toasted it in the oven. Until it got brown and crunchy. Also, I've got 2 eggs in here, and I'm adding 2 more, which will make it 4 eggs. And then I'm gonna get these beat up. Okay. Finished doing the bread. Did take the meat off of the burner. Then we're going to put some broth on the stove to heat up. Tear up everything to start with. About a quart of broth that I put in the freezer. I'm going to add to the pan. And then I'm going to put one of these in there. And this is 32 ounces. I'm just going to add it to the pan. Having to do this in a smaller pan because I can't lift it very well. I'm going to get that on the heat. And rest of the bread over here. And I don't know, I probably could break this up just about as easy as I can chop it. You find lots of ways to do things when you're in pain. And what I'm doing could be for people with arthritis, how I'm doing things. Almost even with a broken arm, I could keep this arm down. It's just like I said, I hate to be on here like this, but I wanted to show you how I made this dressing, and I probably won't be making it again for a while. And I like to show you when I'm making it so that you can see how I do things. Yeah, I think this is a little faster. Just breaking it up. You can do it any way you want. It doesn't matter. Just break it up. Okay, I've got the broth going. I need to go stir the celery and the onion. Looks so good and smells so good. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm putting a sleeve of crackers in with this, and I'm going to put the crackers in a bag. Put them in use a rolling pin if I can. If I can't roll it, I may have to beat it. And it will go into the egg mixture. Okay, got the bread all cut up. I just got a Ziploc bag here. And put the crackers in there. Zip it up. The eggs makes this dressing really fluffy. There's many different recipes for dressing, and you can just make different ones and see which ones you like best if you've never made dressing before. But it's not hard to make at all. Sorry for the noise. Okay, I'm going to put the crackers in here with the egg. Stir that up and get that all coated. Okay. Then we're going to add the celery and onion to this, but I actually need to let it cool just a tiny bit. Find something to get that out with. It's not a very big spoon, but reason I need to let this cool is we don't want to cook the eggs that we've got in there with the crackers. Okay. I think I'm going to slip this in the refrigerator for just a bit. And see if I can get that to cool down for a minute. And then we'll put the meat in that, in the eggs and the crackers and the onions. And so we've already got the sage and everything in there. And then when the broth gets hot, we'll pour it in here. And then we'll mix all of this in with it also. And then it's going to bake for 350 for 30 minutes. And this is the pan that I'm going to put it in. And I've already used Pam on this and got it oiled up. But this is my little pan. It's not quite a 9 by 13, but it's a tiny bit smaller. But that's what I'll be putting the dressing in to bake it. Okay. Let me see how cool the meat is. It's probably not, yeah, it's not as hot as the onions and celery was. Skillet right there. I'm going to bring this over here to put the meat in. This was a pound. This is going to have a lot of goodies in it. It's going to be very delicious. If you did use oysters in your dressing, you might want to use some of the oyster juice and heat it up with your chicken broth, and that way that would give it a little more oyster flavor. And could even put a little bit of Old Bay in it. Okay, there's that. Okay. This broth is really, really hot. I'm going to go ahead and pour it onto there, and I'm going to use another box of broth. get it heated up. Now, I didn't go ahead and use that other cord I had. It didn't seem like it was strong enough. So I just used the one, and now I've used the second one. I do have another one in the larder, and I'll use it if I need to, because you want this to be really, really moist. And let me see how the celery and onions doing in here. It's still pretty hot. What I think I'll do is just add a little bit. Stir this in, kind of temper it. I'm going to pour the rest of this in with the bread, and that way it can be cooling down more. Well, it's not going to cool down very much because that broth's hot, but this will be tempered and the eggs won't cook, so. I'm telling you, this smells really, really good. And then to get it in the pan. So, if you was baking a turkey or a chicken or something for your meat, for your dinner, you could use the broth off of it to pour on your bread, and a lot of people do, or depending on how much broth they have, but also they can use it for their noodles. But I usually buy extra broth, so I like to have plenty. And you have to get your bread really, really moist. And it'll raise, it's going to be pretty full in that pan anyway, but it's going to be really fluffy and nice. I'm not going to put the meat and the crackers and the eggs and the onions and the celery in until I get the rest of the broth in. Then we'll stir that up, and I may need more broth. That looks delicious. I'm going to have to taste this and see how much, if I've got enough salt. Okay, I'm going to taste it and see if I have enough salt. Oh, perfect. Okay, I'm going to get this in that pan and put it in the oven. Chris is on her way here, so I think I'll wait and have her help me get it in the pan because this is pretty heavy. And then I'll show you what it looks like when it gets done. Okay? See you in a little bit. Hey, I decided to get back on here. I'm going to try to get this in the pan. And oh, about didn't make it. And this comes clear up to the top of this pan. And I measured it with my other glass, 9 by 14. And it was the same size. I thought this one was smaller, but anyway, I guess not. So I'm gonna head over here to the oven with it. But you can see how moist it is. And you want it to be that way. Because that's what makes it good. Oh, sorry. And I'm gonna set the timer for 30 minutes. And we'll see what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. Okay. See you in a little bit. Okay, I've got the dressing out of the oven, and I'm telling you, it looks wonderful. I'm getting ready to do a taste test right now. Oh my gosh, it's so moist and good. Oh, it is delicious. It's moist. You can taste the sage. You can taste the sausage, the onion and celery. Oh, it is just so good. I just took a little taste out of the corner because okay, I wanted to taste it before I took it out there. And we're going to head out to the palace and have dinner. I may show you some stuff, other things that we've got out there to eat. So I wanted to show you and tell you how good this dressing is and how easy it was to make. Alrighty, I'm off for now. Bye-bye.